people with bazookas. Think about it. Because you can have a bazooka in a car, and like every car in Russia has a sunroof. Everyone knows
bazooka
that.
mob is intimidating.
It is. That gets most jobs done.
You just pop out and you start blasting whatever building he's in with bazookas. He's done.
Bazooka mob. Yeah. Bazooka mob him. Come on.
You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah!
Good
morning! And welcome to episode 901 of Hard Factor. It is St. Paddy's Day.
Hell yeah.
Thursday,
Thank you.
March 17th, 2022. Yes, you're welcome, St. Patrick
me?
of Hard Factor.
Me?
But you're not a saint. You're just a Patrick.
Well,
what do you have to
talk to my mom? She feels different.
What do you have to do to be a saint?
There's a day for Patricks.
Just, stuff.
Where's your green at, though, Patrick? I don't see your green.
Oh, shit.
I got Florida, my green on. See, Mark's got his Hard Factor green on.
I didn't pack it.
Okay?
I don't need.
I forgot.
Green.
I mean, if you're not wearing green, aren't you kind of like letting Patrick's down all over the world?
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
Well, thank you for us today. We got a whole house of hosts today. Mark, Pat, Wes, and I'm Will to talk with you about Wes. He's got a cup of coffee full of Japanese earthquakes, Ukrainian updates, and Jussie Smollett updates. So intense, dark roast, or like a robust blend.
It's smoky.
In today's cup of coffee in the big time. Then Mark, he's got a TikTok international moment where he claims that Denmark hates Wes. Whoa, we'll learn about that. And a haunting tale from the United Kingdom. Yeah, Indian doctors also.
Not Denmark.
Tell us about Kim Kardashian's latest visit on the Ellen Show. Wow,
It's still
that's
a show.
Else. It was. And then I'll take us into an interview with Pennsylvania congressional candidate Alexandra Hunt at the end of the show. And that's what we got.
Okay, well, we're just gonna get right into it today, boys.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Cup of coffee in the big time. Fun fact, holidays, trending news. Today, the fun fact of the day and holidays and today in history is all pretty much rolled into one. Today's fun fact is that the rest of the country is getting fucked, and Boston gets an extra holiday that none of us get. It's called Evacuation Day, and it's observed every year on March 17th. It is a public holiday in Suffolk County, including Boston in the U.S. It celebrates the day when the British troops evacuated Boston.
This is such a crock of shit. It's so they can party on St. Patrick's Day.
Absolutely, it is, Mark.
That's amazing.
Yep. It's a day off for most people. Schools, most businesses get this day off, but we don't get shit. And Bostonians get to enjoy a day off and go to one of the best parties in the country.
Well, good for them.
It's because they don't want to admit they're all getting hammered because that's embarrassing. So they're like, "Oh, it's Evacuation Day."
Right.
Yep. Good for them. That's
I'm jealous.
Every state should come up with a reason to take St. Patrick's Day off.
Or just another day for just every state.
Why don't you just take
Why
St.
can't St. Patrick's Day
Why
be
can't
good
we
enough?
just take St. Patrick's Day and say we're all drunks, Like
no, it's something about the Irish that they're getting disrespected this way.
Like, I don't know, National Day of Voting.
That's pretty sad for the Irish. Think about that. Boston even had to create a fake holiday just so they could celebrate the Irish holiday.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely not related to anything Irish.
Right. And St. Patrick's not even Irish. He's British. So take that.
What?
Yeah.
What do you know?
He was born in Britain. On this day in history, he was kidnapped by some Irish people.
That's right. That's right. He went back. We talked about that. That's right.
Yeah.
It's a united kingdom.
You're celebrating a Brit. On this day in history, 11th month siege of Boston, 1776, ended when the Continental Army, under the command of George Washington, fortified Dorchester Heights in early March 1776 with cannons captured at Ticonderoga. British General William Howe, whose garrison and navy were threatened by these positions, was forced to decide between an attack and retreat. And to prevent what could have been a repeat of the Battle of Bunker Hill, he decided to retreat, withdrawing from Boston to Nova Scotia, and therefore, Boston later got a holiday nobody else gets for having an awful accent and being born in Boston. A bunch of wannabe Irish people celebrating a British saint and getting a day off for something they had no part in 100 years ago, hundreds of
Why
years
don't you just
ago.
make fun of Dunkin' Donuts and really piss them off?
What a shamcrock, you know?
Shamcrock. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's just. I think you're just hating because you wish you had the holiday.
Yes.
Of course I am. Of course I am. So
Enjoy
that's
it,
that.
you fucking
Enjoy it.
racist in Boston. You massholes.
It's a different kind of racism up there.
Oh yeah, it is. Beautiful state. Trending mentions. That crazy son of a bitch, Jussie Smollett, did it. Like a 3-year-old who wants more chocolate milk. Jussie Smollett bitched and moaned his way out of prison. The Empire actor was ordered released from jail Wednesday after a court agreed to stay the sentence handed down by a judge last week, according to documents, even though the sentencing judge denied that request.
So his tantrum worked?
Well,
It worked.
it may have just been the whole. He probably has so many allies in the court system that he was going to get released by somehow.
Right, but it doesn't really work that way. So I guess my question is, so theoretically, he got sentenced, and then he went in and he did the whole I'm not, which is, by the way,
I'm not
brilliant,
suicidal.
Brilliant move there, bro. I mean, brilliant move. But how did he?
A
get
lot of
another
people saying that's
hearing?
his best acting performance to date.
Right,
Right,
many internet comments.
But how did he get another hearing so fast? That's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. Like normally, if you do some shit,
Because
and
like what Will said, he's got friends. He's got friends.
He's an actor on Empire.
He's rich.
Yeah,
was an actor on Empire.
Oh,
He's
whatever,
got
I
good
mean,
lawyers
still-
and stuff. Yeah.
Kamala Harris was tweeting about how everybody needed to respect Jussie Smollett's hate crime. You know what I'm saying? The vice president.
What exactly was she tweeting?
The vice president of the United States was tweeted solidarity with Smollett.
Is that really what she tweeted?
At the
When
time
it first happened,
When it
before
first
we,
happened,
before
yeah,
we,
of course,
before we
when
found out
everyone-
he was
What,
but Biden did too.
everyone should have
But
been
everyone-
tweeting that same
yeah.
shit. If it was
But that was
true.
before everyone
Oh, it
knew
was
he was a
completely
complete fraud.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
But what I'm
yeah,
saying, the vice
that's
president is
misleading,
tweeting
Will.
about him. He can
That's
get
misleading.
a favor in court.
True. He has friends in high
The
places.
vice president's
yeah.
tweeting about you. You can get a favor. in
The
court.
Right, but that's like
the
tweeting-
president was tweeting about him.
That's like tweeting
Right.
feeling for OJ right now
Yeah.
in late '93. You know,
It's bullshit that he's
No, but
getting
that's
out
different,
without serving
though.
time.
And then
Because
OJ
this
turns
wasn't
out.
I'm so
OJ
sick of this
killed
dude, though.
people. This is
Right.
Is this
totally
dude going back to
different.
acting now? Do we have to deal with him now?
No, come on.
Well, look, I don't think he's actually. I think he's just allowed to stay out of jail until the appeal is happening. So he still might go back to jail. I think
He's
But
not remanded.
he's not remanded
He
in
won't
the
go
in the
back
jail
now.
while he's waiting on the appeal. But yeah, he'll probably get off.
Because now that
Um,
everybody knows, they'll just bring him out again.
Can we just never if we agree as a society to not allow him to any acting jobs, including commercials, so we just don't have to ever I think that'll work for everyone.
He's gonna do something crazy again. He's obviously lost his mind. He's something's
Dude,
going on. with
his poor sister. I mean, is trying to have an acting career with that last name. His sister's trying to
That's
just.
not-
No, if you're a
be
Smollett,
actor.
you should just change it. Change it all last name.
Maybe
Just
she could-
change it.
Play like a villain.
Yeah, everybody is always going to assume that you're gonna be like, you related to Jussie? That's gonna be the first question you ever get now if you're a Smollett. You
Yep.
related to Jussie?
Absolutely.
Like,
Which Mighty Duck was he?
He was in the Mighty Ducks.
Is he really?
Yeah.
What?
Unfortunately,
Hmm.
he was in North too.
Really
Yeah,
child
man.
actor. Didn't know.
interesting. Well, let's move
Hey,
on
you
from.
related to Jussie?
Hey,
Mm.
Just change your last name for sure.
Let's move on from Jussie.
He was.
Let's go to Japan.
Terry. I'm sorry. He was Terry
Mhm.
Hall. I don't even remember this guy. He's billed after Adam Banks. What? Who is this person?
I don't know, pull
I
a
mean,
picture up for
and
us.
Mighty Ducks too.
One, OG. But this is such bullshit. If you go to the Mighty Ducks Wikipedia now, it's starring Emilio Estevez, Josh Ackland, Lane Smith, and Jesse Smollett. He's fourth billed but not obviously because of the work he did. in
No,
the
he
Mighty
was.
Ducks.
He's a forgettable part. It
God
sounds like.
damn.
Anyway, moving on from Jussie to Japan, an earthquake measuring 7.3 on the earthquake scale hit off the coast of Japan yesterday near Fukushima.
no.
Here is the where it hit. Wait, there it is. Here it is. Sorry.
Isn't there a nuclear power plant?
There is.
Yeah.
That's the one where that melted down back in 2011 after the giant earthquake hit there, which created a tsunami, which
Oh,
killed
no.
20,000 people. So not great. The intensity of the earthquake equaled that of the Kobe earthquake of 1995, which killed more than 6,000 people. It has left millions of people without power. I'm just going to play a video in the background. No sound. Forced tens of thousands of people to evacuate. There's a guy putting on a helmet in an office space that I thought was kind of funny.
Office is just falling apart.
That'll help with radiation.
This is a kind of crazy video. This guy's just driving through the streets on a scooter, and then earthquake, and then boom, all the lights go out.
It's 7.3, and you're shaking too.
Yeah.
That's got to be insane.
And then here's video of the 2011 earthquake with the tsunami that just absolutely destroyed.
That video is scary.
That video is very scary. Luckily, the tsunami, they issued a tsunami warning, but it has been lifted. There's been some reports of injuries, but no confirmed casualties at the time of this recording.
That's good. Yeah, that's lucky.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So it's just like a massive shaking.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. And our editor, Eric, said that he felt like a 5.6 in the Philippines the other day. And he said that was fucking crazy. So I can imagine what 7.3 might be. Luckily, it was off coast a little bit. But
Pacific Rim, it makes you think, what are they doing in that blob down there?
Yeah.
Because like it's right over the blob. So
yeah,
Pacific Rim.
The blob in the core of the earth. The big blob.
Right.
Yeah, what's in there?
Crazy. So that's what's going on.
Pat forgot that one.
Pink Pat missed that day.
Oh, he missed the blob day. Okay.
There's two giant blobs in the middle of the earth, Pat. They don't know what they do. One of them's below the Pacific.
They're
Ocean.
bigger than
Another one's below Africa.
They're bigger than any continent. It's just underneath us. There's like giant, solid things that are inside
Colder
them.
water, isn't it?
Well, no. They're inside rock. They're where they're at. They're supposed to be rock.
We don't know what's inside.
So just think about it, Pat. Could be the blob. Just always keep your mind open to the possibility of the blob.
Godzilla.
Googling to do tonight.
Yeah,
that's right. But let's move on. There's some big news, big updates in Ukraine. So let's move on to that. It is
the cream of the crop.
First, just hours after Ukrainian President Zelensky spoke directly to Congress and shared just a heartbreaking, well-produced video, a great speech on the devastation and human loss in Ukraine, which was met with a standing ovation by Congress.
Again, huh? Another standing O. NATO gave him one or whatever. Wow, he's got a lot of standing O's. Good for him.
Standing O's.
Sure, he loves that.
He does. But apparently it was just a fantastic speech. It was met with, again, a standing ovation. Some funny video came out of it. I strung some together during the speech. Here's Joe Manchin just playing the Wordle of the day on his iPod during the speech. It looks like. And here's here's Nancy Pelosi cracking the whip on some guy to tell him to stand up
the fuck up
and start clapping. And then here's Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, while everyone's clapping, she immediately just goes to her phone and doesn't clap. She starts tweeting or whatever. She doesn't give a fuck. So a lot of people are, sharing those videos on.
I'm watching this Nazi give his speech, and I'm upset about it. I mean, I'm assuming she's
definitely comparing something to Nazis,
right? Yeah, something like that. One of the big quotes from the address was this one from Zelensky speaking to President Biden, quote, "You are the leader of your grand nation. I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace." And that seemed to resonate with Biden and people of Congress and people everywhere. And it must have hit home because shortly after that, President Biden authorized an additional $800 million in aid to help Ukraine. From CNN, according to the White House, the $800 million in security assistance will provide Ukraine with 800 Stinger anti-aircraft missiles, 100 drones, over 20 million rounds of small arms ammunition and grenade launcher and mortar rounds, 25,000 sets of body armor, 25,000 helmets, 100 grenade launchers, 5,000 rifles, 1,000 pistols, 400 machine guns, 400 shotguns, as well as 2,000 Javelin, 1,000 light armor weapons, and 6,000 AT-4 anti-armor systems. Wow. So that's in addition to the $13.6 billion which half of it was for basically mobilizing our troops over there, our NATO and stuff, but that's in addition to the 13.6 that he already authorized.
So why do we have the troops mobilized
in case Putin decides to attack NATO?
In case he decides
it's
to
a NATO thing.
Poland as well.
Right, exactly.
Okay, doesn't that seem okay? Yeah, but he's having such a hard time in Ukraine. Doesn't that seem like?
I think it's a solidarity thing. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. Is like, hey, let's all take on this mofo, so he can't fight us all if we're strong together. So
Okay,
we
but what are we
need to mobilize after the French mobilize.
Okay, so everybody's now going to fund the Ukrainian defense, but what are people doing about trying to get like not? Is there any word on China? Because like last we heard, they're kind of like into funding Putin's side of it, right? So,
No, I mean China's still doing what they're doing.
Yeah, but China's buying every commodity.
Has anyone heard from the Klitschko brothers? Are they okay?
yeah,
They're out
he's
there
fine. He's the
commanding-
mayor of Kiev, Vitaly.
I've got a great clip of him later, Mark.
Okay.
He's
Nice.
alive and well. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So Biden said today.
Wes. Before we move on from Zelensky's speech, did you see the fucking guy who criticized him for not wearing a suit, and then
No, I
got
did not.
just lampooned for it?
He's got to put on a suit in the middle of a war to get to give me
Jesus
a break.
Christ.
Forget his name. It was classic though. Everybody started making suit jokes afterwards. So
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
fun moment for the internet.
Biden gave a speech after that where he announced the aid. He said, today we're again showing the American people that as a country, we can come together as Democrats and Republicans and independents to do big things, that our democracy can deliver and outperform autocracies. Yes. Autocracies. Thank you.
Autocorrect.
And that there's nothing we can't do when we do it together as the United States of America. But still no orders of a no-fly zone. Zelensky has been begging for weeks. And on that, I was watching Fox News, and Senator Chris Coons from Delaware was speaking on their Brett Baer, and he was talking. He said that he's never seen Congress so united after that speech that Zelensky gave. He also explained why a no-fly zone is tricky because, first of all, much of the big damage that Russia has succeeded in has come from missiles fired from them in Russia, and not necessarily something that a no-fly zone would be able to help. But also, if there was a no-fly zone, that would mean U.S. and pilots engaged directly with Russian ones, and it would require that we basically take out Russia's air defense systems on Russian land, on Belarusian land, and that would be the start of World War III because it would be direct attack.
He's never seen Congress so united except for 24 hours before during the daylight savings time vote.
Right. United in the fact that they definitely weren't going to give him what he asked for at the end of the video. And
they all
Zelensky-
clapped. Great.
And Zelensky also, like, you know, like a lot of people are like, hey, why are you trying to instigate World War III here when you know that would be the result of creating the no-fly zone? He's just trying to save his people.
But yeah, you can't blame him for begging for it because they're all dying, and then also it's just a rock and a hard place.
It's just a very complicated situation.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, hopefully Putin runs out of fucking money, right? Like, isn't that like the deal?
I don't think it's going to happen as long as the Chinese are literally. So even before they're making it, the Chinese are like, well, it's bought. What do you? We got it. We'll buy it.
Well, then
I still think the best bet is someone just kills Putin.
Yeah, but who's gonna do it?
Easily the best bet.
A Russian or someone with cancer in Russia that's like gonna die. That's like everyone in Russia with cancer should just.
It has to be a Russian.
Storm his like castle.
Yeah, I think it's a little hard. I think he keeps some close quarters up
he
there.
He definitely has a beast castle. You got it. Yeah. There's no doubt he's got a moat. And
but bazooka. I always thought this, man. This is such bullshit.
Bazooka.
If you get enough people with bazookas, think about it. Because you can have a bazooka in a car, and like every car in Russia has a sunroof. Everyone knows
bazooka
that.
mob is intimidating.
It is. That gets most jobs done.
You just pop out and you start blasting whatever building he's in with bazookas. He's done.
Bazooka mob. Yeah. Bazooka mob him. Come on. You guys can throw that together.
Yeah, bazooka.
Bazooka
mob. My dad's got a bazooka. We can use that.
It's older. But,
my dad's got a bazooka. Also happening in Ukraine, big win for Ukraine forces as they had their best day against Russian helicopters at the airport in Kherson, one of the first places that Russia claimed control over in Ukraine. Here's some images. They bombed this, or they got like 3 helicopters. They are smoking at the airport. It was the most effective Ukrainian military strike against helicopters since the war began. So good job there. These helicopters are largely the ones that are wreaking havoc on like civilians and neighborhoods. You see them, they're just like fucking predators swarming around, shooting missiles at you know, anything that moves basically.
You know what could take those things down?
Javelin missiles.
Bazookas.
Gonna say bazookas.
Bazookas.
But I mean, they sent stingers and javelins, which I think are forms of bazookas, right?
They are bazookas.
Technically bazookas, right?
You're right, Pat. Bazookas are what we need. In
Gazumba bazooka.
In Mariupol, the atrocities keep coming. Russian forces bombed a theater where hundreds were taking shelter, including many children, which Ukrainians actually spelled out. If you can see it right there on the outside of the theater, they wrote children in
on.
Russian on the outside.
Insane.
And they
then
still bombed
airstruck
it?
that.
And they still bombed it. The city council said
that's horrible.
it's fucking awful. The city council in there said that the Russian forces purposely and cynically destroyed the drama theater in the heart of Mariupol. The plane dropped a bomb on a building where hundreds of peaceful Mariupol residents were hiding. They are also holding patients and doctors hostages at hospitals there. So just real pieces of shit they are over there, especially in Mariupol. Following that and the countless other attacks and war crimes and the video from President Zelensky, President Biden finally came out and said it, called Putin a war criminal, which was huge news, because before he had kind of not been, he's been reluctant to say that. He's saying that maybe he's committing war crimes, but he's not calling him a war criminal. He even went back to the reporter who asked him the question. He doubled back and said, "You asked me if he's a war criminal? Yeah, I think he's a war criminal."
Yeah, war criminal. You know what I've learned about war criminal during this whole World War III?
Nothing. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. Everybody's a war
matter.
criminal. Literally, because Zelensky's also one because he's he's publicizing these Russian interviews of detained troops, and that's against the Geneva Convention.
I imagine
everybody
after,
breaks the rules in war.
America's
done it a bunch.
I imagine way after the fact, like when some paperwork's being signed, you get a few ticky tack here and there is for war criminal stuff, but during the fucking war, it doesn't make it.
Anything.
Obviously, what Putin did to the citizens in the theater is horrible. But this whole war criminal, you're a war criminal, I'm a war criminal, everybody's a war criminal. Like, okay.
I mean, it did affect the Nazis back in the day.
It does matter if you lose big time,
right? If you lose big time, they add on stuff.
Then
to
they
it.
Start taking your country.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
If he backs out now, they're not going to do anything to him. It doesn't.
It's all after the
the Nuremberg
that
trials
the war
and all
criminal
that
stuff comes in, because right now all it's doing is killing more Ukrainians. He's like, it's helping him win. Like now, all the war criminal stuff. Yeah.
Well, the war criminal stuff it's just noise. It's literally the word war criminal now in my head is just like static because I've heard it so much.
It's nice to hear Biden at least say it. Like, it's nice to hear the president fucking acknowledge.
Well, everyone knows he's a war criminal.
Of course, everyone knows it, but it's nice that Biden's not fucking shying away from it anymore. At least.
Yeah.
What about the word bazooka, Will? How do you?
I love bazooka. I'm all in on bazooka and frog of war. Out on war criminal. Because I just feel like there's.
What about war douche?
Well, it pisses Putin off, I'll tell you that. Putin
Putin's
not
a
like
war
being
douche.
called a war criminal. He's a war douche. Putin says that he's.
It sounds like a Russian word. War douche.
Yeah.
It's a douche that you do during that time of the month.
Putin claims that he's only targeting military targets. We all know that's not true. And here is what the mayor of Kiev, I forget which Klitschko brother it is, had to say when asked about that. Natalia, here he is.
He's only targeting military targets.
Bullshit. Sorry. Where is military target? This building is military target.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
He's not wrong.
Guy was a heavyweight champion.
That's what I used to call hidden penetrators vagina. Military targets.
Military targets.
That's his brother. That's his brother. Vladimir is married to Hidden Penitentiary.
Yeah.
The younger brother, Vitaly, is the guy who was the only person to be beating Lennox Lewis during that decade, but he got a big cut in his head and they couldn't continue the fight. So Lennox Lewis won by.
Oh, so Vladimir was the great champion, but
Vladimir was the champion for years, but his brother Vitaly might have been a better boxer, and he's the only guy that gave Lennox Lewis a good fight.
And now he's standing up to Putin.
Yeah.
And now we have to suffer Lennox Lewis's ties.
He was great though.
Guy's got the worst fashion.
He was really good.
He was really
boxer.
good.
All three of those guys, great boxers.
Yeah, last thing, Putin did address his own government ministers yesterday, saying, among other crazy things, quote, in the foreseeable future, it was possible that the pro-Nazi regime in Kiev could have gotten its hands on weapons of mass destruction. Sounds familiar. And its target,
they're a Nazi war criminal.
Right.
And
its target, of course, would have been Russia. So the invasion was necessary because the Nazis in Ukraine were going to use a nuke on Russia. And then he said, behind the hypocritical talk and today's actions of the so-called collective West are hostile geopolitical goals. They just don't want a strong and sovereign Russia. The West doesn't even bother to hide their aim is to damage the entire Russian economy. Every Russian, what a dodo. So he's just out of his mind.
I mean, maybe the West is harming the Russian economy because you invaded Ukraine. I mean, just
yeah.
like
Right.
he just keeps like everybody, and also it's the same way when people are arguing on behalf of Russia, they just conveniently neglect the fact that they're actively bombing the fuck out of Ukrainian citizens, and they're
That's
like,
right.
but it's because of the West, and it's like, yeah, but you're the only ones bombing your neighbors to
Yeah,
death.
no one's in Russia bombing Russia. It's like,
Man, you know what's interesting if you think about like all the fucking money and lives we wasted to stop the quote unquote spread of communism in the Vietnam War and the
Well, not to say
Korean War.
that the U.S. look at Yemen and all these other
No,
things
but-
where people are against us because of what we've done.
What I'm saying is the argument there, right, of
Afghanistan?
like
Yeah.
quelling the spread thereof. This is a significantly more important quelling the spread thereof. Because if you let Russia just take Ukraine, that's a fucking statement, and they're just inching closer to the. I mean, in my opinion, it seems like you have to.
the Antifa League's testing the waters right now.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
sure. Well,
They think they can compete with the West on their own.
and
And
what's
that's what
so
they're trying to prove.
what's so wild is like how much really this is pushing Biden to be Jimmy Carter 2.0. I mean, you have record inflation combined with green energy initiatives backfiring because
They're the same
relations with
age.
the Middle East and Russia are, it's literally like the 70s on replay, except China's 100 times richer. It's
Man, I hopefully the Fed fucking does something about this inflation. 'cause
No
that's-
fentanyl in the 70s though.
right. It's worse. It's like
free sex, no AIDS.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like it's
Just
like
a
a
bunch
worse
of sex
version.
and awesome drugs.
Yeah, we better watch out for that fentanyl. It's going to get worse now. So that's a cup of
no
coffee. In the big
pandemic either. So
Yeah, it's crazy. So we'll keep you posted, obviously. That's it for the cup of coffee in the big time, which is brought to you by Fast Growing Trees. Spring and summer are the seasons for finally getting outdoors for entertaining, pool parties, barbecues. But if your yard looks like a plant cemetery, you're not going to enjoy it as much, right? It's embarrassing, quite frankly. Get your place looking like a resort easy with Fast Growing Trees. When it comes to caring for your plants, know-how matters. That's why fastgrowingtrees.com's experts curate thousands of plant varieties that will thrive in your specific climate, location, and needs. No matter where you are, they're going to point you in the right direction and say, hey, this is going to work for you, or this isn't going to work for you. And a lot of people make that mistake. They buy plants that's just wrong for their environment. There's no waiting in lines. You don't have to go to the nursery, get your car all dirty. They come right to your door 1 to 2 days. Plus, their growing and care advice is available 24/7. So whether you're looking for increased privacy, some shade, just sprucing up your backyard to make it look great, they have the perfect plants and the expertise to help you find those perfect plants. Even if you've never had a green thumb like me, you kill everything, they'll make you feel like you do. 1 million home gardens have already seen what fastgrowingtrees.com can do for them. So try it out. I love it. They send me it comes right to your door, instructions. They tell me exactly, because I'm a dummy, they tell me exactly what to do, which is exactly what I need when it comes to trees. And it's super simple, and the thing stays alive, which is all I want to do. All I want a tree to do is to stay alive and look great. And that's what they do.
Like
So-
we said, it'll
Mhm.
make you look like you have a green thumb, which
Exactly.
then will impress your lady and maybe
Yeah.
give you a brown thumb, if you know what I mean.
There you go. That's right. Yeah.
all
The
kinds of-
water-
Think about
yeah.
it.
What?
I mean, that
Think
thought
about
is
it.
going to be
Think about it.
Think about it. Plus, with their 30-day Alive and Thrive guarantee, you can trust everything will be healthy for years to come. So go to fastgrowingtrees.com/factor right now, and you get 15% off your entire order. Get 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com/factor, fastgrowingtrees.com/factor. And they make a great gift too. So, I mean, you want an original gift, no one's going to see a tree coming. No one. Guarantee it. It's a
Kate
good
looks like
point.
she's Blair Witching it back there.
Mhm.
She's like in the corner, just staring at the
We
wall.
can't- we can see you.
Yeah, Blair Witch.
They say you look like you're Blair Witching it.
It's the end of the Blair Witch.
What did I say at the end? Yeah.
Is that a pump?
She like faces the wall at the end of the Blair Witch Project. She's
is that she had something in her arm.
She was just
She's grabbing the
corner them.
baby shit.
Yeah.
Baby.
it was a
Nice.
stealth move.
Sound
Got
machine.
You guys all know Hard Factor's a big tobacco pod, but I feel like we've been getting we've been getting chewing tobacco from the same companies forever. Well, now there's a new chewing tobacco alternative that you absolutely need to try. Will's holding it up. If you're over 21 or over and you dip or chew tobacco, Pouches or long cut, I am, of course, talking about our awesome sponsor, Black Buffalo. Black Buffalo is everything you love about dipping, including pharmaceutical-grade nicotine, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. It's dip literally made from edible green leaves and food-grade ingredients with the same flavors, texture, aroma, pack, and nicotine as traditional tobacco products. No compromise required. They produce a variety of flavors like wintergreen, mint, straight peach, and even my personal, the exotic blood orange, baby. They sell their products at blackbuffalo.com. It's available in both long cut and pouches. Plus, if you're looking to ditch nicotine and tobacco, tap into their nicotine-free options called Zero. They also have a subscription option on their core flavors, so you can set it and forget it. They'll just send it over to you, every month, right? Born in the Midwest, raised in the South, Black Buffalo proudly manufactures their products right here in the U.S. of A. Black Buffalo's founders looked high and low for tobacco alternatives across the U.S. and overseas, but nothing really delivered the same satisfaction or high quality they were looking for, so they just made it themselves. They're like, fuck it. Don't just take my word for Black Buffalo's quality. They were 2021's Best New Product winner at the CSP Awards and C-Store Decisions Hot New Product Award winner for 2021. That was just last year. Just the most recent awards that were given out.
Just last year.
Just last year.
Just last year.
I love throwing in a blood orange pouch and writing my stories for this very podcast that you're listening to. It's quite the relaxing treat. I even love the Black Buffalo branding. These guys are amazing. It's 2022. Are you still dipping traditional tobacco or those white portion things? If so, and you're 21, it's time to get with Black Buffalo. It's everything you love about dipping, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. Head to blackbuffalo.com and use promo code HARDFACTOR, that's one word, at checkout for 25% off your first order. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code HARDFACTOR, that's one word, for 25% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code HARDFACTOR for 25% off your order at blackbuffalo.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Oh,
there we go. First up, we're headed to Denmark, a place that apparently isn't a big tobacco fan or a fan of.
Well, they like snooze, right? Snooze.
The snorting, the stuff you snort.
Snooze. You want some snooze? Yeah, it's like.
Have you ever tried that stuff?
They dip it. I think they dip it too, but yeah.
I tried that once.
Put it in their nose, put it in their mouth.
Snoot, right?
Snooze.
Snooze. Take a snoot.
Yeah.
Would you like a snooze?
Bunch of snoozers over there. Yeah, apparently they haven't seen Wes's Revolutionary Power of Cigarettes internet campaign. And get this, Denmark is planning to ban the sale of cigarettes to anyone born after 2010. So they said the current generations are lost causes filled with smoking idiots and losers with no aspirations, but that doesn't mean they can't change it for their future generations while looking down at the existing generations. Right?
Okay.
Does this make sense to you?
Seems like they love tobacco in Norway. They got all kinds of different. I'm looking up
picture of it looks like they're in Denmark here.
They got
is that a racist symbol, Wes? A hand symbol there?
That looks incredibly racist.
He's smoking a cigarette in Denmark and doing what looks racist. I don't know what that is, but yeah. But
anytime a white hand does anything weird, it's racist.
He's born before 2010, obviously, because he's allowed to smoke. According to the Danish. According
Danish,
to
I kept thinking Danish and Norwegian was the same thing.
No, they're the Danes, baby. They're
slightly different.
I think
right?
they're not like an island. They're in the
different shaped feet.
They're like
all
a peninsula up there.
No, I don't think Denmark is. I think they're inland.
Yeah, they were definitely Vikings.
Denmark owns like Greenland.
Pull up a map.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
they're peninsula,
show me Denmark on a map.
They're for sure.
They're peninsula.
Okay.
Looks like they love like Davidoff Danish mixture.
I think it's a fjord that they are.
According to a survey, these snooters, 64% of them are in favor of this ban of cigarette sales to people born after 2010. Yeah, see, they're inland.
No, inland.
I mean, well, they're not, but they're not like they're not like Norway. They're not like Norway. They're part of the.
Yeah, no. They're a Nordic country for sure.
Okay, you put a canal at the border of Germany and they're an island.
They're connected to the mainland of Europe.
Well, right, but they're
not inland.
They were one of the Viking countries.
I mean, they're part of Europe. They're not part of like those three like peninsulas.
Yeah, but Canute was like over the king.
No, like Norway and like Sweden. Maybe I don't know. Fuck it. No, Sweden.
They're Vikings.
Fuck. Come on, let's keep going.
I just learned what an isthmus is.
An isthmus. The plan, I guess, is to raise the age limit that you can purchase cigarettes once people born in 2010 reach like the age limit of I guess 12 over there is when you're allowed to smoke. It's actually 18, surprisingly, even though you can buy liquor at 16. So like in 2028, what they're planning on doing is they're going to raise the age to buy tobacco to 19, and then 2029 to 20, and then 2030 to 21. They're just going to keep raising the age and so on and so forth until everyone that smokes currently dies.
So that's
the
going to
plan.
have a backwards effect, though, because what do you want so bad when you can't have it? It's like a perpetual carrot on a stick for these kids.
And they're still selling them because they want to make profits.
No, I know.
So they're still selling these products. They're not banning cigarettes. They're banning it for people born after
There's gonna be
2010.
like 65-year-old smokers who are like, I'm a bad girl.
But they're not banning e-cigarettes, you said, right?
This is just cigarettes. Denmark
Yeah.
is not the only country to
Stupid.
take on
So
this
now
crazy approach.
everybody born after 2010 is going to vape like they already do.
Yes, it's going to be a cloud-filled country.
It didn't mention vaping, but I'm sure that's still allowed.
Check out
Like it isn't already. Denmark is not the only country to take on this crazy approach to banning tobacco for young people. In December, New Zealand announced that it would gradually ban the sale of tobacco starting in 2027. So they did the 2010 thing too. And when they're 17 years old, they're going to push the age out every year. So New Zealand, now Denmark. And get this, Denmark is not stopping at tobacco. They're planning on taking on alcohol as well. As I mentioned earlier, the age limit to purchase alcohol is 16 in Denmark. They're moving it to 18. So, but it's only for drinks containing less than 16.5% alcohol. So you have to be 18 going forward to buy beer and wine, but you can buy heavy
Denmark
booze at
sounds
16 still.
Like the worst. Yeah.
They're
Not
ass
going to
backwards.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You know,
New
they
Zealand
also.
know that cigarettes are an appetite suppressant?
Oh, you think they need them for weight control? You know,
I mean,
You know,
they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot to,
They're gonna have a 7.
you know.
you shouldn't really take too much of what Denmark
girls.
does seriously. They have an annual event where they slaughter whales like by the hundreds. Let me pull this up.
Also,
Horrible event.
peninsula. They occupy the Jutland Peninsula.
Yeah, but you understand there's like 3 big Nordic
I understand.
islands.
It's
Norway. Not
it's-
them. Yeah.
I understand. It's Finland, Sweden, and Norway.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
They're not part of that. All right.
Yeah, but they're
Moving-
still like they were a Viking
moving on.
country.
Yeah, it's cold, I guess. or
They
whatever.
owned Greenland and the Faroe Islands, which is where they do the insane dolphin whale slaughter every year. The Faroe Islands.
Oof. That's an event I'm gonna skip. Not
Yeah,
on the
they just
bucket list.
murdering them with their
Yeah.
hands.
Actually, maybe Wes and I should go to that.
That would be-
the whale killing event. Yeah.
That's horrible.
I would be.
Yeah.
I would like to enjoy. I would like to participate in that. Actually,
Maybe we
What?
could. Yeah, maybe we could eat the whale
That's
afterwards.
disgusting.
Well, they're gonna take over. We got to teach them
Listen.
a lesson.
that's right.
Yeah.
Remember this face, whale.
Yeah. If we don't, if that event gets banned,
Then you
they're
guys
gonna get
fly
real
to
cocky.
Japan after that to join the guys in the cove, slaughter
Well,
some dolphins in the
No,
cove.
not dolphins. Dolphins are different than
Dolphins
Well,
whales.
they
are
kill
fine.
dolphins and whales in the Faroe Islands.
Well, that
No,
well,
I don't wanna
we're
participate in
gonna
dolphins.
turn a blind eye to the dolphin killing.
You're
and
just only going to
celebrate
kill the
whale
whales
killing.
on the beach. You're going
Right.
to skip over the dolphins that are other
Correct.
people are slaughtering.
That's right. We're
Correct,
only going to
Will.
buy the souvenirs of the dead whales, not the dolphins.
Oh, it's
All right.
dolphin time. We'll see you later.
Let's move on. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
No. Like not even like spirits, but specifically haunting ghosts, scary, spooky ghosts. Anyone?
I
No.
think that
It's a waste of time.
I think there's something to it, but
Okay.
my mind's not totally closed to it.
Okay, cool. A town in Manchester, England, sure as shit believes in ghosts. In fact, they say the entire town is haunted, and you have to sign a waiver to even move there. So, yeah, maybe don't move to Wingate's Grove. Any town you have for saying the extreme haunting you're about to experience means either the town is haunted or your neighbors are insane, and neither of those are good, right?
Yeah, no, that's all bad.
Yeah, you probably don't want to move to that town. I mean, here, let me show you. Look at this fucking tree. Ooh, spooky. And about that chick's face, it's so blurry. That's a ghost face, right? So they just blurred it out for her personal thing, I guess. That's
up with the
Laura
tree?
L on the left. Well, just a spooky tree. That's Laura L on the left, who says she spent her teenage years at Wingate's Grove and is still haunted by it to this day. We'll get to her in a minute. A poltergeist was said to inhabit Wingate's Grove starting in the 1990s, and the evil spirit attached itself to a row of council houses and absolutely haunted the shit out of families in the 90s. The first known sighting of the ghost was in 1993 when a family said their toddler would talk to a, quote, little man in his room and an oil type substance would run down their walls. Maybe
Whoa,
it
that's
was
scary.
the toddler.
Yeah. Could have been
Right.
a toddler.
Huh.
So that's creepy, right? Maintenance
Is there a
workers,
mirror in that room?
right? Maintenance workers could not oily, so they went with haunting, and a church was contacted to do an exorcism in the house, which seemed to work until 1999 when Laura's family moved into Wingate's Grove, 2 doors down from the original haunted house, and shit went down pretty much immediately. One night she said that her older brother cut his foot badly on a picture frame that was being held in place by some force on their staircase. She claims he was running up the stairs and that the frame was on the wall and that it fell as her brother was running up the stairs, placed on. So
Yeah.
I think I got that.
yeah, like basically the picture frame didn't, if it fell on the stairs, it would tumble. It was like
Right.
placed for him to like step on. And so he
Oh.
stepped on it, and it's unexplainable how the picture frame wouldn't like fall down the stairs or something like that. It was
Right.
like held in place by something. Something was holding it in place on the stairs.
An
And
invisible
he didn't see it step-
force.
Exactly. Okay, how about this? If you don't believe that, maybe it was just, if that's not good enough, how about this? One night line that that same brother of hers girlfriend was standing over her bed staring at her. She told her mom about it. And then the next day, her mom called Laura into the room and said, "Holy shit, that same girlfriend was standing over my bed as well." So they went with possessed person instead of crazy girl. So how do you explain that, right?
Yeah.
Anyone?
So
Anyone buying
ghost
this?
The ghost stood
No.
over 2 beds.
Yeah, no, the girlfriend, the crazy brother's girlfriend was standing over people's beds, and it must have been that she was possessed.
Oh,
Not
right,
that she's a drug addict.
Yes,
and
for
still-
sure.
right?
For sure.
Where's this?
Right?
Massachusetts?
Yeah, no, yeah, Manchester, England.
Well, I think though, Mark, the ghost could be fucking with your internet connection though.
No, they are. They don't want me to. They don't want me to.
Yeah,
talk
they don't
about
want
this.
the truth to get out there. So
Okay, explain
what's
this.
the last
Explain
one?
this. Explain the dozens of dead crows found in the yard constantly, or a new oily substance supply on the walls. Again, different house, oil on the walls.
Whoa.
Oil on the walls is confusing.
It is a little
No,
weird, isn't
okay,
it?
isn't there just a drug addict there? Okay, the girl who was hovering over everybody's bed.
They said it could have been baby oil.
Check her shed for oil, right?
Right.
Yeah, she probably papers and said that she saw the oily thing from 1993, so she rubbed baby oil. I don't. Quote from Laura said, "My nephew used to speak to someone in the house and called them guy. He would sit there in the corner of the room babbling away. When asked who he was talking to, he would say, 'I'm talking to big guy.' So I guess the little ghost from 1993 that was little guy developed a complex and wanted to be called big guy in 1999.
Of course.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Of course.
that makes
As
sense.
we all know, ghosts get jealous of each other.
Laura said she got so scared living there, she would hold in pee at night. She wouldn't get out of bed to go pee. And that even though the family moved when she was 16, she still won't watch any scary movies. And that's basically all she talks to her therapist about is this town. Now, fast forward almost a decade and meet Karen Walton. She said she moved into Wingate's Grove in 2006 and had to sign a waiver that said she wouldn't use a Ouija board or practice dark magic. Also, apparently one of the stipulations for even being eligible to move into this town is you can't have young children because that's who the big or little man communicates with. Karen said she didn't mind that. Yeah, Karen said she didn't mind the waiver and all the paranormal stuff in the past. In fact, it was a selling point to her as she has no problem with the property's history. Yeah, no shit, because Karen has probably like 5 Ouija boards and all sorts of magic books, and purposely moved there because now this town is famous and attracting ghost chasers. So they're getting exactly who they don't want into the town.
Karen,
Right.
Carol's having fun. Or Karen, Carol.
It's all ghost fanatics. Yeah, she's like, oh, I don't know, it's okay for me. Yeah, she's fucking insane.
She's partying with the big man and the little man. So
Yeah.
you guys gonna join this? They killed 1,400 dolphins in one day last year.
No, we already told you we're not
What
gonna
day
kill
is the
dolphins.
whales?
Yeah.
How many whales did they get?
I mean, it doesn't sound like they got as many whales last year.
Yeah. So don't move into that town.
I'm so glad that my son was never like you always see these like videos on TikTok or whatever, like the little kid is like talking to ghosts, or he claims that he's like remembers his past life or some shit. Like he sees like a airplane at a museum. He's like, I used to fly one of those, like I'm just, have you ever seen those videos? They're fucking insane. These kids that think they're like from the past, or like they have these like it would freak me the fuck out. I'd have that kid in a chair every day of the week.
I think a lot of those TikToks, though, not all of them, but a lot of those that you're talking about, it's like the person that's like, I talked to my 3-year-old son today, and he's like, why can't we end racism? It's like those tweets. It's fake. It's fake.
Yeah, I hope
just get him to say
it's the parent making up the story.
Yeah, they freak me out.
Guys, when you hear this, if it's before noon Eastern, then I'm going to want you to go over to mybookie.com.
Yes.
And sign up, okay? And when you sign up, use promo code FACTOR to make your first deposit. That's FACTOR. And you can get a free entry into the My Bracket contest, which literally cuts off today at the start of March Madness officially. I know they did the first 4 or whatever, but the start of March Madness today. So that's noon today is your cutoff. So get in there, make a deposit on mybookie.com. Use the promo code FACTOR, and you will get a free entry into the My Bracket contest, where you could win a Bitcoin, which is currently valued at like 40K. But look, let's be honest. We all know it's going to go up to 100K. Thank you, Steve Wozniak, one of the founders of Apple, for making that call the other day. It made me feel good about the insane amount of money I've lost this year. Or you can get a doodle, which is valued at over 50 grand right now. Also another 100 grand in cash and prizes. So it's time to shoot your shot, score big on nonstop action with MyBookie. So that's pretty simple. Go to mybookie.com, sign up, use promo code FACTOR to make your first deposit, get your free entry into the My Bracket contest. You have until noon today, Thursday, March 17th. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And guys, real quick, effectively, Pete Davidson got a tattoo on his body that says, quote, my girl is a lawyer. And this is the exact same thing as if Kate got a tattoo on her body. They said, quote, my guy completed his associate's degree.
Which would be a badass tattoo.
Right,
Yeah.
but it would also be a fucking lie. She hasn't finished school yet or passed the bar. Really weird thing to get. If you've ever met a lawyer and
she
asked
passed the
them
baby bar, bro.
She
any
did.
legal question before they actually pass the bar,
This
they
is
get real weirded
disrespectful.
out. They get weirded out, dude. Try to ask a lawyer any question, because it's part of being a lawyer. They teach you, like, don't give legal advice until you're a fucking lawyer. That's why there's a bar. It's a club. The fact that Pete got a tattoo, really weird. And she's just like, it's so cute, which is also anti-lawyer culture. He also got a branding. He branded himself, which
It gets worse. Yeah.
I think was a troll
Sheesh.
for her ex-husband, Kanye West, the new slave singer. He got Kim branded on him, and then also texted him over the weekend
That's
saying,
going to drive Kanye up a wall.
hey, it's me, Skeet. Can you please take a second to calm down? It's
I
8
don't
a.m.
know.
Kim is
Oh,
literally
no,
the best mother.
we did
We
this
did
one.
this one.
Yeah, we
Right.
did that
So
one.
Kanye got banned from Instagram today, just a couple hours ago.
Because of posting Skeet's crazy text
Well,
messages?
he went at Trevor Noah, who had a great
Oh, yeah, he
response.
did a racial slur to Trevor
He
Noah.
called him, I'm not going to say what it is.
No, yeah.
He went after DL Hughley, saying this man can't even dress himself. Anyway, it's a mess. We'll give you a full download on it probably tomorrow. But let's get into an interview. Will, you want to do the intro here?
Yeah. Also, by the way, Skeet Davidson, he's been with Kim Kardashian for how long? How long?
6 months.
Well, when
6
was
months.
the SNL?
He has a brand. My girl is a lawyer tattoo, and she's not a lawyer, and at least 2 other tattoos of her.
Well,
So-
he does this with every girl. He falls
It's
in
not
love
about
quickly and gets a
that.
tattoo.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking weird, dude. That's
not about that.
That's
It's about
some
her not being a
hungry-ass
lawyer.
shit. That's
It's not a
some
lawyer.
thirsty ass shit.
You're not a lawyer.
That's some
Not a lawyer.
thirsty ass shit from
You're not a lawyer.
Skeet.
Like,
Hey,
my man has a 401k or a retirement plan. I don't.
all I'm saying is he's working his fucking ass off. He's working those tattoo artists' hands
There-
off to keep her.
There is a
Look,
Look,
guy.
if he was
the
smart, he'd impregnate her. That's the best tattoo of all.
That's true. She's
Yeah, go
worth,
for 5.
She's worth
Well, who do you
billions.
think's paying for him to go to space, bro?
She's worth billions, bro. She is. Dude, there has to be a team of people working round the clock to keep Kanye from killing Pete Davidson.
Well, look, dude.
He's got multiple guys that are like, don't do it. Like,
There
like
is
taking,
Kanye's
Kanye's
next
taking
album-
weapons,
Kanye's
weapons away from him.
Next album is going to be so fucking fire.
I'll
I
tell you what,
cannot
man.
wait.
I've
God's
always,
telling me to.
Yeah.
I've always had a lot of respect for Kim Kardashian because I think she's a smart business lady. But with what's going down right now, and Kanye's being a psycho, but that's not what I'm talking about. What's going on right now?
But he also is like, I mean, he's the father of the kids, and it's a messy divorce. It's a public messy divorce.
But let me finish. What I'm saying is, what's going on right now with
That's
the
his fault.
Hulu
Kids.
deal that just rolled out? Okay, the empire they turned the Kardashians into. Her sham marriages with Dame Dash, her sham marriages with Chris Humphries, her marriage to Kanye, and now you have the new It Boy, as he was becoming the It Boy, moving into a mother of four situation right as they do a like a 10-figure deal at Hulu for their new Empire reality show. It's just a little bit fishy to me. But let's talk to a congressional candidate that used to dance.
Wow, Pat's team, yay!
No, I'm not a yay guy. I'm just saying I think it's kind
That's
of
what I heard.
disgusting. I think they made a picked Pete Davidson and said this is the best
for
thing
sure.
for our TV show.
The Kardashians operate that way. It's a
Good
business.
for him.
Yeah.
It's a business. All right. Yes, and that takes us to interview with congressional candidate for Pennsylvania's 3rd district, West Philadelphia, and her name is Alexandra Hunt. Sorry, I lost my place in the notes. I know it when we talk to her, which we're going to do right now. And thanks for listening to that interview with Alexandra. What do you guys think? I thought it was a fun chat with her. I thought
Yeah.
wish her luck.
Lactose.
I was not there because
I want a shirt.
Mhm.
all
Lactose.
day today.
Mark, we don't need to hear about it.
Oh, Mark's got the pregnant man emoji with the mustache up because he's had stomach issues.
This is my poo
How was
game.
the interview? Well, I took a shit.
I took 12 shits.
Just so you know, I took a shit. So
I wasn't there.
no, because I was
Damn.
shitting. Thought you guys should
Damn.
know.
All day.
Well,
All day.
wish her luck with the electos. Sounds like she's going up against some deep pockets. So good luck to Alexandra. Let's spin the wheel, Wes.
Spin it.
Spin the wheel. Here we go.
Cup of coffee at the big time is going to be
Slow down.
Martin.
Oh, you bastard.
Oh.
You fucking bastard. Not a double. Oh, I guess I'll start right now.
Cup of coffee in the big time will be Marv tomorrow. TikTok international moment will be Wes.
Take it. Take it.
Wes.
That was another gut
And-
shot. Didn't mean that.
Voicemails and reviews.
Oh, is it going to put me back on it? No,
No,
for
it's Pat.
the first time in a
It's the
while.
beeve.
PC.
We'll see you out there.
Look at that.
Better
I
be
get free
fucking
reign.
short.
Oh, guess what? I know where we're going tomorrow with my story. Space. Trust me.
Space is the
Some-
place.
something you guys got to see. You won't believe it.
I know a TikTok we talked about before the show that might be
Oh,
a
yeah.
good one.
Mhm.
Yeah. You're going to want to tune in tomorrow. But thank you for listening today. As always, we love each and every one of you in the Hardo Hive. You make doing this show such a fucking amazing job. Thank you so much. We love you all. But most importantly, have a great fucking day.